Okay, we got a problem. Well, hang on.
Now we're working.
Yeah, I think so. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Operation Liberty for Kentucky and America with Wesley Morgan, U.S. Senate candidate for 2020 from Kentucky. Hey, Wes, how are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm tired, but I'm doing great. I worked all day today.
That's good. Wesley, I think we have a problem. Hang on one second. It says it's lost access with the Facebook. Hang on. Hang on, Wesley.
It says everyone can see and hear you.
Okay, good. Hang on one second. Well, check her on Facebook and see if it's working. Have Lindsay check and see if it's on Facebook because I don't have any views up.
I'd have to get up and leave and go to the kitchen.
Okay. Go ahead, because we don't have any views on here. I don't think we're connected.
All right, let me have her. Excuse me, everybody, just a minute if you're watching.
No, there's nobody on here. Just me and you. Hey, look on Facebook. This. It's not. I don't think it's working. I don't show any viewers on at all. It says it's live, but it popped up and said we're not live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Here we go. Click here to reconnect your destination. Okay, Wesley, I need your. Do you know your Facebook login?
Wesley,
are we live? No, we're not on live on Facebook. What you know what your password is?
Well, I'll have to text it to you.
Okay, text it to me real quick. We're just not live on Facebook. It's lost the connection for some reason. I won't be surprised if Facebook has kicked him off. We're on YouTube. Huh? No. Nope. The Streamlot has lost access to your Facebook account. Click here to reconnect. Of course, you didn't do that till you went live. So, I thought that is odd, don't you? You don't know his password, do you? On his Facebook? Huh? Yeah, I got the email where I sent you the password. Come on. Gucci? Okay. GUCC /5932. Let's see if that works.
Is it working?
This password you've entered is incorrect. And I did
Small G.
Okay. GUCC / Didn't know that until we logged in, and then it showed we weren't. Okay, so it's going to send you a 6-digit code. Hang on.
Oh, Jesus.
You've asked us to require a 6-digit code when you try to log your account from the browser. When you receive your 6-digit code, enter here to continue. You should be getting a 6-digit code. You may have to check your email or your phone. Nobody can see us. But we're 5 minutes late. Check your email and see if you got that 6-digit code, Wesley.
I'm looking at it and I don't so far.
Okay. Would it have come on your phone as a text?
Yeah, it might have. Let me get my phone.
Okay. It's great when technology works, huh? So I found this a real nice office building, by the way. It's Lexington. It's right off of Alumni Drive. Right there at the edge of Alumni New Circle, before you get to Alumni. No, I just found it on the internet. Looking on LoopNet.
That's not sent us no 6-digit code.
Son of a gun. Okay. Receive a code, approved from the use text message.
It's from YouTube. There it is. 329-305.
329-305. Why didn't it work? 329-305. There we go. Now, Ellen, we should be live. See if we're not coming up now. Should be coming up any minute. Hang on. Hang on. Now it should. It's loading. Okay. How about now? Now we should be good.
You showing it, Lindsay?
Hang on 1 second. We hit it again. Now we should be good. See us yet? We're all keyed up now. May take a minute to connect, but are we there?
Yeah, Lindsay got it.
Great, thanks. Hey, folks. Good evening. Sorry for the being late tonight. We have had some technical difficulties at the last minute, so I do apologize. And anyway, welcome to the show, Operation Liberty for Kentucky and America with C. Wesley Morgan, 2020 U.S. Senate candidate for Kentucky. Wesley, that was, that was a lot of fun when we first got going.
Well, Dave, I'm going to tell you, it makes me furious, absolutely furious that we're being obstructed by every possible angle that they can use against us. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if Mitch McConnell wasn't a globalist, do you really think that they would have this kind of control over social media, over Facebook, that they would be blocking our content and they would be creating problem after problem after problem? I mean, what does that tell you? What does that tell you when it is so important for someone to win that literally is disenfranchising you as the voter, that you're not even allowed to listen to any alternative views? Please, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to defeat this man. This man is not on your side. He is not. And he is a globalist, and he wants to take your rights away from you. To me, I just don't know what to say. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Our country's got down to the point that your First Amendment rights are being taken from you every single day, and a lot of people don't even realize it.
No, they don't.
So, I mean, it's they liable to shut us off any minute. So just remember that if something happens that we can't broadcast, it's not us. It's not because we don't want to do it. It's because that we are being obstructed. And the people that you have to look toward is those that's in power that is doing the obstructing. And I mean, how else? Why would they even do it if he wasn't part of it? Why would they do it? So, I mean, it just makes me so angry that I can't see straight. But anyway, I apologize. I know there's been about 10 minutes wasted here. We'll run a little long if that's okay with you, Dave. But
Sure.
I've had my say about that. I just need to cool down a little bit because this really, really makes me angry.
Hello, Don. How are you doing this evening? Don Haney said hello.
Hello, Don. How are you, brother? Let me talk to you a little bit about a couple things before we go on, Dave.
Okay, sure.
The first thing I want to do is I want to give a real big shout out to Johnson Central High School that won the Class 4A football championship. And the reason that that's a little bit close to me, or a whole lot close to me, is because a lot of people out there probably remember or did know Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was from Prestonsburg, a great, great young man. I got to know Ben back in 2002, I believe it was. And he graduated from Eastern, and he was a CPA, and he was my accountant for about 6 or 7 years. But Ben was born with a heart defect, and it started bothering him about 2006, I believe it was, or 7, and 6, I think it was. And he fought a courageous battle for 12 years. And he died. He was born in 1975, and he died at 43 years old in I believe it was July or August of 2018. And his son Devin Johnson plays on that Johnson Central football team. He's a senior, and I just want to tell Devin that we're all so proud of him, and we're so glad that he was able to win the Class 4A football championship. And go Devin, we're for you, brother, and I hope you do well in the future.
Congratulations, Devin.
I'm going to go and.
Ellen said hi. And Johnny Calvin Emery says praying for you, Wesley.
Thank you, Johnny. I need it. I need all the prayer I can get, believe me. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's went on since the last time that we were on the air. Obviously, we wasn't on last Sunday because of the holidays. That we just couldn't get things together because everybody was obligated for something, and it just didn't come together. And we apologize for that. And we'll try to always give you notice when it's not going to. We're not going to broadcast. We'll send out emails or posts or whatever. And it's always because of something that's either uncontrollable by us. But let me tell you what's happened this past week. We were in Hart County Monday night, had a terrific reception in Hart County, picked up a lot of volunteers that's going to help the campaign. We were in Oldham County on Tuesday night. And guess what happened in Oldham County on Tuesday night, Dave?
Tell me what happened.
Jonathan Schell, Mitch McConnell's chairman of his committee, and a member of the Republican Party showed up and took their phone and tape recorded my speech to the Oldham County GOP. Now, what does that tell you?
I'd say that means you're probably getting under some skin there, Wesley. What do you think?
I would say that's probably right. And then Thursday we were in Nicholas County, and then on Friday I was in Morgan County at the Appalachian Republican Women's Christmas potluck dinner, and a terrific bunch of individuals there. Picked up a lot of volunteers there. That basically when we tell them. When we give a speech and tell them what's been going on and start outlining what all Mitch McConnell has done against them to deprive them of their constitutional rights, we don't have much of a problem picking people up and them coming to our side. And it's about the same thing every time I speak. They go, "Oh my Lord, I did not know he did that. I did not know that." Yes, he did. And if you're wondering about what I'm talking about, go to morganforsenate2020.com. And go down and look at Mitch McConnell's voting record. It is it's something atrocious. You will be shocked. And you're right, Johnny. We are on the radar, and we expect any day to start being attacked viciously by them. And that will tell you the more vicious it is, the more that they are not liking the feedback that they're getting from the local GOP. Now, tomorrow, we were supposed to be in Callaway County, and I was notified last night that they had canceled that meeting. And then on Thursday, we're going to be in Bracken County, and on Saturday, I'll be in Fleming County. Now, Dave, I don't know if I should start really, I post this on my calendar, and you can actually see it on upcoming events on our webpage, which is morganpercent2020.com. But I don't know if we should do that or not, because thank you, Rhonda, I appreciate it. We just got a call from a friend of mine in Alabama and told me that they had assigned a firm out of Mississippi was hired and is putting a tracker onto our campaign. So that tracker is going to be following us around and trying to videotape us so they can get wording that they might be able to take out of context and put in a commercial to say something. I'm sure they're probably tape recording this, to be honest with you, Dave. Because they're looking for something in my voice that they can take out of context to try to act like I said something that was somehow atrocious to the voting public, which everything I say is God's truth, and that's what I tell everyone. I don't hide behind things that McConnell does when he does one thing and then acts like he's doing something else. And all you got to do is check his record, and the record's right there at morganpercent2020.com. So prepare yourself, brother, for those vicious attacks will be coming, and they will be vicious, I'm sure. Johnny, you're 100% right. I'm reading the message that Johnny Emery sent to me. So, the more that they are concerned about our candidacy, the more vicious it will be. And it just tells you, it just tells the voting public out there that these people are getting concerned, really, really concerned about our candidacy, because, it's real hard. It's real easy to run on the truth. It's real hard to run on lies. And
the truth is what it is, and the lies can be exposed, and the truth is the truth.
Right. Yeah. And when you run on lies, then what you have to do is you have to go out there. Did you ever? Well, let me change this up. Did you ever know Mitch McConnell to ever stand on his record, or isn't it always a vicious attack against his opponent? That's all he does is attack his opponent. He never stands on his his record.
He goes down to ditch Mitch and put someone in there we can trust. Absolutely.
Dick, I will tell you this. I'll guarantee you can trust me, because I will stand for the people of Kentucky and the people of America. I will stand for what's right, and I am a strict interpretation of the Constitution person. That's what I do. I believe in the strict interpretation of the Constitution, and that's what I'll stand for.
Don says the more they do, the more you're getting to them. I think is what he meant to say. He said then, but them. And then Don had asked earlier question here. I'd go back to it. President Trump impeachment. How will Democrats proceed on this process, Wesley?
Well, the thing I'm worried about is how Mitch will proceed once if it goes to the Senate. I think the Democrats are crazy for taking it to the Senate unless they know something I don't know, because that'll be a full-blown trial in the Senate, and a lot of things that the Democrats don't want to be exposed will absolutely be exposed. But I will tell you people something. The Democrat Party is horrible, absolutely horrible. But I won't tell you, the Republican establishment is not much better. They're better than the Democrats. It's in office, but I'm telling you right now, the Republican establishment is also, they are, everybody's got their little lock on power, and that's all they worry about is power. And they're not worried about taking care of the people of the state of Kentucky or the people of America. They're worried about how much influence and power they can get. That's all they care about.
They only care about themselves, Wesley. That's all they care about. They don't care
But
about
you know what? The more Dave, it's becoming more and more and more obvious to the everyday citizen
Yes.
that both sides of this coin is bad.
Yep.
And the only thing that's saving the Republican Party is the Democrat Party. That's fact. Because the Democrat Party has went absolutely nuts. And the Republicans, about a part of them, is as bad as the Democrats, but they're hiding behind the Republican platform ticket.
You think the only thing that's really saving us is what conservatives that are left in the Republican Party, Wesley?
Absolutely. And, you know, we're treated like Cinderella. If you remember the little show, the Disney show Cinderella, and how bad they treated Cinderella. But you know who ended up with the glass slipper, don't you?
That's true.
Cinderella did. She ended up with the prince. So you know, I believe that the conservatives will eventually end up with the prince, and because you know the rhinos in the Republican Party can't win without us conservatives. If we just unite, they can't win at all without us.
I think that was pretty well proven in the Republican governor race or governor race in Kentucky.
That's true.
Don't you think Matt Bevin lost because he lost the conservative vote from the Republicans?
There's no question about it that Matt Bevin will be your governor today. Well, he is the governor today, but he would be your governor on the 10th and the 11th of this month and the rest of the next 4 years if he had not you know undermined Janine Hampton, in my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but you know, I pretty much forecasted that back in June that was, you know, that he had made that mistake. And I tell you what he done. I could tell you, in my opinion, what he done. That he trusted Mitch McConnell. He thought Mitch McConnell had enough influence to pull him out. But the trouble is, Mitch McConnell never was for him. And I tell you how I know that, Dave. I know a person in Laurel County, high county official, who is a avid McConnell supporter who absolutely does not do anything that is not endorsed by Mitch McConnell. And I can tell you, and I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to get people involved, mad or whatever, but I know for a fact that this person was not for Matt Bevin. And in fact, I had told some other people, and then some people watching knows they know I told them that by him not being for Bevin meant only one thing: McConnell was not for Bevin. And I mean, how else do you get 100,000 votes for you know, a Secretary of State or a you know, Attorney General that it doesn't go for the governor? I mean, somewhere along the line they had split the ticket. So and here's the obvious scenario, though. If you look at it, the obvious scenario is, let's look at who's gone and let's look at who's in. Well, the two conservatives, Janine Hampton and Matt Bevin, gone. The people who won, you know, Daniel Cameron and Michael Adams, the two hand-picked candidates of Mitch McConnell, are in. Now, what does that tell you? That's as obvious as the nose on your face.
Money back for us, unfortunately. Johnny Calvary says, Embridge says, I've been around Senator McConnell. He has always prided himself on his ability to destroy his opponent, never truly standing on his record.
That's absolutely true, Johnny, and you know as well as I do that Mitch McConnell is a narcissist. He's only worried about his power and his money. He's not worried about anything. I mean, he's going around right now trying to act like, you know, he's supposed to be the guy saving us and putting all these conservative judges in power, you know, on the bench and stuff. When in fact, we all know that all he had to do was recess the Senate in August, and the president could have done recess appointments on every single judge, every ambassador, even the Smith, where Mitch McConnell and Harry Reid changed the Smith-Mott Act in 2012 through the 2013 National Defense Authorization Bill. That what they did is they created actually this happened in the 2017 National Defense Authorization Act under the Countering Foreign Information and Propaganda Act, where they took and changed the board of governors who controls all that, where it was 4 Republicans and 4 senators, with the Secretary of State being the 9th member of that board of governors. And in fact, that changed it to only one person is now controlling the board of governors, and that person was picked by Obama. And we're 3 years into President Trump's administration, and Mitch is still not confirmed President Trump's nominee for that office. Now think about that. And so Obama's guy is sitting there controlling the news media and social media, which is blocking us. And McConnell won't confirm the president's pick to go in that office. That tells you everything.
Don Haney says they have Mitch McConnell on their side at this point. And they want to stay in power and out of jail.
That's absolutely true. That's the reason why the president knows better. He don't trust Mitch McConnell. He knows better. He has to play sort of acting like it, that he is okay with Mitch, because he doesn't make it any, Mitch McConnell's the Senate Majority Leader. He doesn't want to make it any worse. But once this impeachment stuff goes away, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
I think Dick's trying to say, do you believe Mitch will throw Trump under the bus in the end?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, if he gets an opportunity, President Trump will be removed from office if it is left up to Mitch McConnell. No doubt about it. It will happen if he gets that opportunity, which I don't believe that he will, but if he does, he's gone.
He says, Johnny Calvary, he says you're 100% right. If we had not done what they done to the lieutenant governor, he would have never lost.
That's absolutely correct, Johnny. I mean, I feel that. I know that. I know that for a fact. That I just can't believe that. And I know Matt Bevin very well, and I just can't believe that Matt made that choice, and it cost him a second term as governor. In fact, there was many of us talked to Matt about this while he was running in 2015, and we said, you can't do this. That what Fletcher did, or you end up like Fletcher. And guess what's happened? He ended up like Fletcher. So, hey, Frankie, how are you, brother? Anyway, it's been a tough couple of weeks. The holidays really makes it difficult to get a lot done with all kinds of. And I tell you what, I'm just trying my best to get through these holidays without gaining 10 pounds, because every time that you turn around, it's cakes and candy and cookies and dinners here and dinners there, and it's a wonderful time. but and I was doing real well on my diet too, and I've kind of blown that. So I right now I keep telling myself I'll get back on it in January. I'll get back on it in January.
Well, your wife's such a good cook too. That makes it 10 times harder.
Yeah, she is. She is a really good cook, and she makes really good cakes and stuff, and that's what makes it even worse. But one thing, she made a cake back in Halloween, a pumpkin spice. And that's the best doggone thing there was in the world. I told her the other day, I said, I want one of those pumpkin spice cakes again. And she said, well, I don't know how to make it. I said, what are you talking about? You made it. She said, I just made it from scratch. I didn't pay no attention what I put in there. Oh, Jesus. I said, you made a gold medal award-winning cake, and you can't remember how to put it back together. Well, okay.
It's funny. I didn't get an invite for that piece of cake, by the way. Hear that, I can see.
Well, they won't make it left, Dave.
I've had her banana pudding, and it's like, oh my gosh.
It is great.
Yeah, I think you could sell that, Wesley, and make a fortune.
I could. What's in the headlines, Dave? There's something just happened. Now, I don't know, Dave, have you heard about this? The governor of Georgia, who would not be the governor of Georgia if it wasn't for President Trump. One of the senators in Georgia decided to step down and retire, and now the governor gets to pick a senator to replace him. And the president, of course, he wants Doug Collins. Congressman Doug Collins on the Judiciary Committee, who tries to keep Nadler in line but can't, because Nadler's I don't know what you call Nadler. He is certainly not an honest broker or honest man.
Probably can't say it on here.
You what now?
Probably can't say what he is on here.
Yeah, that's probably true. But anyway, the president wanted Doug Collins because Doug Collins is a pro-Trump person, and I don't blame the president for wanting Doug Collins as United States senator. And the governor has decided to pick a never Trumper, a lady by the name of Kelly Loeffler. It's Loeffler. You can look it up on the internet. And she is being opposed by a lot of pro-life organizations in Georgia. According to what I read, that she's on the board of directors of some big hospital in Atlanta that basically trains people how to do abortion. So that's what I've read. Now, I'm just telling you what I read. I don't know how much truth is in what I've read, but according to the Google in that information, and the president does not want this lady to be appointed United States Senator from Georgia. Well, McConnell jumps out there and says, "Oh, absolutely, a great pick." And it's a great pick because she's a never Trumper, and he has already committed that she will be treated as an incumbent and will be provided with all of the funds necessary to run. And according to what I'm reading, that Doug Collins will probably challenge her in the election. I believe that election is, I believe it's next year also. So they're trying to put a rhino into an inside track on that U.S. Senate seat. Now, what does that tell you, Dave? What does that tell you, that McConnell's trying to get another rhino? He'd rather have rhinos or Democrats, but he don't want any conservatives because he don't want anybody stopping their agenda. And their agenda is the UN agenda.
It is. It most certainly is. Frankie makes a comment real quick, just catch up on comments. I'm great, just trying to keep food on my table and roof over my head.
A lot of us are doing that, Frankie. These rich inside politicians, they don't care about anything because they've made so many millions that what we make in a year that's tip change in their pocket. That's all it is, because they've become so wealthy. Another thing I found out, Dave, is that Colombia is now producing 2.5 times the coal that Kentucky is producing. And guess what? It's being shipped to China. And guess on whose ships it's being shipped to China?
Well, I guess to say it was Mitch McConnell's wife's family ship.
That's exactly right. Look it up. All you have to do is look it up. And they're shipping all this coal out of Colombia, while Mitch takes and helps obstruct the coal industry in Kentucky, the state that put him in the office, and he's obstructing the coal production in Kentucky so that his ships his wife's ships can take the coal to China.
So we're taking jobs from Kentuckians and jobs from America. We're stifling the coal production here while we help a foreign country sell their coal to another foreign country that we should have a relationship with.
Well, that's the exact definition of NAFTA. That's exactly what NAFTA did.
Yeah.
And guess who voted for NAFTA?
Oh, Mitch
McConnell.
Yep.
We voted 6 times against the Second Amendment.
Wesley, did you see here this a little while? Was it last week? I think it was the attack on the naval base in Florida, Pensacola Air Station there, by a Saudi that was there for training. He killed 3 American sailors.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Now listen, I'm a constitutional conservative, but I'm a realist, and I'm going to tell you, if it was left up to me, we'd put a moratorium on people coming into this country until all this is straightened up, and the people who are not citizens, they'd be going home. Now I'm telling you that we've got to get these people out, or we're going to end up just like Beirut or somewhere in the Middle East. It's completely, everything's blown all to pieces, and you've got beheadings in the street and everything else. If we don't take back control of this country, and remove these people that has been brought over here and thrown into our laps, and who are doing nothing but trying to destroy the very country they come in here for. But that's the purpose, the reason why they were brought here. They were brought here to destroy this country. They were brought here to destroy our sovereignty, so that we will no longer be a sovereign nation. So we'll be one part of just the cog in the wheel of a one world government. And that is exactly what's going on. And that has to stop. And it needs to stop now before it turns into bloodshed, because I'm going to tell you, it's going to happen if we don't do something to straighten it out before that happens.
I just want to say, Wesley, and I know you agree, I just want to say out there to the U.S. servicemen and women, their families that lost their loved ones at the U.S. Naval Station in Pensacola, and our thoughts and prayers are with you and your families. And, Wesley, I know this is, it goes tongue in cheek to some extent, but have you seen the gun laws that have been proposed in, I think it's West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Virginia.
And no more than a 10-round capacity for any gun at all. That's it.
Well, they're using knives in Europe and in England. It's not the gun, it's not the knife, it's not the hammer. People they're going to use, if you have people who want to create chaos, they'll do it with explosives or whatever. And we've been controlling explosives forever, but we still have bombings. So
why are you taking guns from the American people? The American people aren't terrorists.
Well, we're considered, if you look at some of the hate lists that the government maintains, conservatives are on it. What they're trying to do, again, it's because that they don't want us to be able to fight back, so they're trying to disarm us.
That's right.
And look at Virginia. That would never happen in Virginia if it wasn't for all those, the swamp creatures that's living in Virginia and working in Washington.
Yep.
That's what's causing all of it. And
it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible, Wesley.
Dave, let me ask you this question: would you have ever believed in your wildest dreams that a Republican House committee would be entertaining red flag laws?
No.
Ever? Would you ever have thought that?
No, I would have never thought that.
We all voted for Republicans to put Republicans in the majority in the General Assembly of Kentucky to do the exact reverse, to uphold our constitutional rights.
That's right.
And we've sent these people up there, but this is what I was talking about. When you go there and you have to join in with them or you get ousted.
Yep.
And the people don't understand this, that you go to, there's 100 members of the Kentucky House of Representatives. Like me, when I went up there, I was expected to join in and become part of that 100 people. And if you're not willing to do that, then they're going to spend all the money they can do, money that people donate to keep a conservative majority, and they're not conservative. So then they use the money to oust the people who was trying to do what the people wanted them to do. This is how weird this all is. Representative government is not working.
Don, really? Virginia has a Muslim training camp? Are you serious, Wesley? I hadn't heard that. Is that, if that's true?
Well, I think it's just not Virginia, Don. I think they're all over the place, and the insurrection is they're preparing for it, and that's the reason why they want to take our guns from us, so that we cannot defend ourselves, and we will have to submit. I mean, this is what's going on. I mean, Jesus, just read the Bible. Read the Bible. The Bible lays out everything that's going to happen in the end, and this is all coming to fruition.
It does say in the end days we'll have to fight, doesn't it, Wesley?
Yes. And the only thing that's going to save us is Jesus Christ himself. That's the reason he comes back. Because without him, we're all lost.
Mitch McConnell knows how to make money the old-fashioned way. He steals money the congressional way. Boy, isn't that the truth?
Well, I mean, what Harry Truman say? Show me a politician who got rich, and I'll show you a crook.
That's right.
I will tell you, I'll mention it again. I mentioned it every time I've been on here. Mitch McConnell had a net worth of less than $1 million when he went to the United States Senate in January of 1985. He's now worth close to $60 million, if not more. What does that tell you?
Get that from on a congressional salaries.
You don't make that kind of money on a congressional salary. There's no way you could do it if you saved it all.
You make it on kickbacks and bribes.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Okay. So Elaine Chow's dad, James Chow, who is a good friend of Xi, who I know is from Formosa. I understand that. That's what they said, but I believe there's a close relationship between Xi and James Chow, and they just give Elaine $54 million just because she's their daughter, and doesn't have anything to do with Mitch McConnell being in the Senate. Even when they met in the early 90s, Red China was wanting to become a favored nation, have favored trade status and favored nation, and all that was worked around through the Senate and stuff, and they are the one who gave him the most favored nation status. So what does that tell you? And then they have all these ships that was manufactured in Red China, that was financed by Red China. And is this any different than what Joe Biden and his son and stuff has done with the $1.5 billion out of China?
And they don't want anybody to. Have you noticed that Wesley? They don't think anybody should question them about it.
Oh, Biden is horrible for that. I never seen anything like it in my life. He thinks it's an insult to even bring it up.
I mean, these people act like kings and queens, Don. That they're not. I mean, Wesley, that they're not supposed to be questioned by anything or anybody.
I know. The only way that we can stop this, ladies and gentlemen, is for everyone to everyone to stand up and open your ears and open your eyes and look at what's going on. And if you do that, you are going to recognize. Start with morganforsenate2020.com. Go into the body of that website. Look at Mitch McConnell's voting record. It is referenced. All the references are there. I don't want you to believe something I tell you. I want you to believe something. If I tell you something, it's been documented. You go research it. You'll find what I'm telling you is true. You've got to.
Says he sells cocaine and coal, but it doesn't come from America.
Well, the people, Dave, the people are the only ones that can stop this. Not, you have to start really, really examining those people that you're going to send to Congress or to the General Assembly, and you've got to look at how easy for them to go jump in the bed with the rest of them up there. And that's what happens every time that you elect somebody and send them up there. They're required to submit, and if they don't submit, they're going to be railroaded out. That's a fact. And then they stick together just like glue. I was at Nicholas County the other night, and one of the state representatives was there, and boy, he didn't like anything I had to say, but he was he'd already swallowed the pill, and he drank the Kool-Aid.
He'd already drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, there wasn't no way out for him.
I don't understand how anybody in today's society, I hear things about our president all the time that really bothers me, because I was not a fan of Barack Obama in any way, shape, or form. I couldn't believe he was elected the first time, let alone. And Wesley, I didn't hear the conservatives talking about him like I have heard the liberals complain and gripe, and I'm not going to say the other word, about our president. And when you just, Wesley, if you just look at our economy, just look at it. And where we are, we have the lowest unemployment in 50 years. And I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again, how anybody, when's the last president that donates his salary to help other people?
How about JFK was the last one? JFK was the last one that did it.
you can't sit there and tell me that this president has not been good for this country. It's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life.
Well, he's upsetting the apple cart. He's holding these people accountable, and they don't like that. Them and their families are getting filthy rich off the people's money. Until we stop this tax system, until we stop the federal income tax, they have used this money to undermine the entire nation and the Constitution. And you've got to take the money back away from the federal government. That's an absolute fact.
Right. They have made us all slaves, Wesley. They put us in that. You and I talk about it several times and talk about how we're the proverbial frog in the frying pan. But guys, add up the taxes you're paying. My gosh.
All you have to do, Dave, is listen, ladies and gentlemen, go look up feudal system, and you will see that what went on back in the 11th century, 12th century, when they had the feudal society, that the rich lived in the castle on the hill, and all the rest of the people were peasants that took care of the cattle and raised the food and done all the work. And all they did, they lived a life of luxury in their castles. That's exactly what's going on today. We're this feudal society.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it is.
Lynn Allen says, I never knew that Mitch was like this until Wes got me to do some research on his voting bills.
Well, Dave, I hate to admit it. I didn't either. Dave, I voted for the man every single time up until Matt Bevin ran against him in 2014. And when he ran in 2014 and Bevin lost and Mitch won, I voted for him against Allison Lundgren Grimes. Because and I'll be honest with you, I said it's better to hold my nose and vote for him than have Allison Grimes go up and jump in bed with Harry Reid. But what I didn't realize was there wasn't no difference in it. Might as well had Allison Grimes as have Mitch McConnell. It didn't make any difference. Now let me tell you this, Dave. You mentioned a while ago about Barack Obama. I remember at one of and I have searched and cannot find the video. They must have removed it. But one of the State of the Nation addresses that Barack Obama did, he walked off that podium, and I sat right there and watched Mitch McConnell come up and put his arm around Barack Obama and walk him off of the House floor. And I said then, there is something that's just not right about this. If he's that close to Obama, that he can go up and put his arm around him and walk him off the House floor after the State of the Nation or the State of the Union address, then it can't be for us. There's no way, because I am absolutely against everything Barack Obama did. He is he has got to be the worst president that's ever brought into this country.
I agree 100%. Linda says Mitch is all for Mitch, not for Kentucky or America. Well, you said it. You said it, Dick. And Derek, Eddie says, did you know that over 74% of McConnell campaign donations came from outside Kentucky? Derek, yes, we actually did.
We sure do. And in fact, one of the shows that Josh did, Josh took Josh Wheeler, when he was doing the show with me, he had an overlay, and he put the map of the United States up, and it showed where all of Hillary's campaign contributions were coming from, mostly California and New York. And then he took Mitch's and overlaid it, and it was exactly the same.
Oh my gosh!
Think about it.
Those people are controlling it, no matter who, whether it's a Republican or Democrat. Outside forces are controlling our election based on money in order to get them elected.
Josh Wheeler held those maps up and put them overlaid to each other and showed it. Showed exactly what was going on. That's the reason we got to wake up.
Yep.
People got to wake up.
Derek says, and it's been outside the state as well. And I'd say that's very true. Diana Sizemore, I never knew how corrupt it was until I was videotaping West speak, and it kicked me off. I think she
That
meant maybe
actually happened this past week in Nicholas County when she was taping my speech before Nicholas County GOP, and it just shut it down. Just shut her down completely. It's like tonight. It's like tonight. And you know, on the 10th, YouTube is changing their policies, and you think, Dave, we're going to have to archive our YouTube videos. They're probably going to do away with all of them.
Steve Smallwood said, we have come to a point in this country where the liberals are outraged when a president or anyone else questions the billions of taxpayer dollars that are given to foreign countries. Boy, Steve, Wesley, there's a topic that's, oh my gosh.
Well, let me tell you this. Let's talk about those foreign contributions. You know what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at Ukraine. So
yep.
What happens is Biden and Obama and them go over there, and they give $1 billion to Ukraine. Now, in order to get that Ukraine money, then they kick it back through relatives, family donations.
Yeah.
And now it's come up that this Burisma, the one that Hunter Biden was on the board, they're actually the ones that made the dossier. Now think about that. All this money's coming to take your rights away from you. They're using your own taxpayer money to take your rights away and enslave you in this country. That's what they're doing. That's the reason you've got to stop it. You've got to stop the federal income tax system. Absolutely have to do it if you're going to survive.
Don Henry said, Democrats are trying to stop informed Americans from having a voice. Don't question the money they have received from Ukraine or China. Yep.
Don, I'll agree with you except for one thing. There is a lot of rhino Republicans that are trying to do the same thing too. I wished I could say that Republicans was 100%, but they're not. They're absolutely not. And they're not. As long they will act like that they're supporting our president, and our president is trying to clean this up. He is doing his best. But there's a lot of Republicans out there, and Jeff Flake was one of them. I think Mitch McConnell's one of them. That absolutely Mitt Romney is one. His own son is on that Burisma. So,
yeah, Linda, we've had a few little technical difficulties. I noticed sometimes Wesley's kind of here just recently. Wesley kind of being scrambled, but I think it's an internet issue. But who knows? We've had so many problems. I wouldn't put it past anything or anybody to have or give interference. Guys, it's got to be scary when you can't get on social media or Facebook. A real good friend of ours, as well as a campaign staff, Ellen Stone, has been kicked off Facebook for absolutely no apparent reason, other than the fact she had 5,000 friends, and we were getting we were getting your word out there, Wesley, and we were getting your videos out there, and for the only reason I can see is that they shut her down or shut her off and gave her no reason whatsoever. And we've tried to get it.
They won't even give her some of her personal content back. They just shut it down, and they won't even respond to her and to do anything to restore her long enough to get her personal content. And it's all. And I apologize, Ellen. I know it's because of this campaign, and I never dreamed that anything like this would happen. And they've got me shut down every way but Sunday. They've shot a ban in everything I do. And I had this kid down in Whitley County, Cameron Asher. I had him posting things for me because I could post something and get 10 views, and he could post it and get 10,000 views. And then after he started posting my stuff, he got shut down. What does that tell you?
They're coming after people. They don't need anybody to stand up and speak for the people. That's what it tells me, Wesley.
America in 2019 or before 2016, we have had our First Amendment rights taken from us, and they're after our Second Amendment rights. They've already took our Fourth Amendment with the income tax was passed. Because think about this. The Fourth Amendment says that you shall be secure in your person and your places and your papers from unreasonable search and seizure, and it has to have probable cause and a search warrant. Well, if that's true, how in the world do you get audited? You would have to have a search warrant to audit you if you went by the Constitution.
You're absolutely right.
And when did it get to the point that a person had to disclose their personal dealings, financial dealings, to a government? When did it get to be their decision on where your money would be spent? Think about what they've done to us. They are enslaving us more and more every day. It's pathetic.
Steve Smallwood says most of the Republicans prefer to be in the minority so they don't have to lead. They can run on the same issues each election. Boy, that's
let me tell you this.
probably true.
When I beat Mitch McConnell in the primary, he's going to support the Democrat. And the reason he's going to support the Democrat is because it's better for him if they give up one term and then try to come back later than it is for me to clean house, because I'm going to clean house. And I'm telling you, these people are all the same. They make deals across the aisles with each other. Look at Harry Reid and what buddies Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell were. Look what buddies that Harry Reid and Mitch McConnell and Schumer are. Schumer came to Louisville to one of McConnell's. What has he got up there? Some kind of a foundation? You know, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And then the other night when we were in Morgan County, I got up and made a speech about what all Mitch had been doing, acting like he had to be there for the county, for the conservative judges. And I showed the people why that he blocked all the judges because that he would not recess the Senate the same way that Harry Reid did for Barack Obama. And then Representative, what's his name, Bobby McCool got up and had a message that he's a freshman representative, and he got up and read a message that was sent by McConnell saying how he had to be there because of the conservative judges.
Wow.
And even the people said, I can't believe this. You made the call before he even done it. I said, yep, that's what he's doing.
Don asked, why didn't Nancy Pelosi get prosecuted for her trip to the Middle Eastern countries trying to undermine President Trump?
I believe that's going to happen, Don. I believe they've got the whole ball of wax on her. I think that's the reason why that she's going along with the impeachment thing. This is desperation on their part. They're fighting to save their hide. You don't do what these people are doing right out in the open.
No.
And they're trying to get rid of Trump. They feel if they can get rid of Trump, then they can get rid of the attorney general and all that, and all this stuff will blow away. That's what the whole thing's about. It ain't going to happen.
No. Guys, I just want to mention, please go to morganforsennate2020.com, sign up to volunteer, put up signs, call for donations, whatever we can do. Wesley is available to speak to your group. And please like, share, show us on Facebook and YouTube as much as you can. We're going to go over a little bit tonight because we were about 8 minutes late. So, guys, please, we'd love for you to jump in, make comments, ask questions for Wesley. That's what he's here for, is to answer your questions so you know where he stands on the issues. But if you don't know conservative by now, you haven't been on very long. Go ahead, Wesley.
Well, Dave, let me say this. It takes money to run a statewide campaign. There's 120 counties in this state.
Right.
Now, I've been to a lot of them. But, we have to have yard signs. We have to have 4x8 signs. The budget for signs alone is about $1.4 million. And, I don't know how you win the race without, generous people like yourself, Dave, and Don, and a whole bunch of people. You've got to contribute to help do this. We have donations coming in every day. They're not large, coming in from outside of the state. People who are just so fed up with McConnell that they can't see straight. Most of the people who are politicians in the state are afraid to give a dime. They're afraid to give anything because they don't want their name to be on a donation page for McConnell and them to come back and primary him in the next election.
we would like to think that there were a few donations this past week or two from folks here in Kentucky. I don't want to mention their names because I don't know if they would appreciate that, but I just want to tell them we do appreciate. I think, and they weren't big, but you know what, Wesley, $5, $10, $25, $50. You know, folks, whatever you can afford to send to help keep this campaign going and continue to run the race, please go to Morgan for Senate 2020. Again, if we had 10,000 people gave $5, we'd be in pretty good shape. You know,
Right.
$10, $25, whatever you can afford. We know it's Christmas time. You know, we know everybody's got kids and family to buy for, but you know, guys, anything you can do to help the campaign, we really would appreciate it.
But if you ever bought anything in your life for your children, think about this. You know, guaranteeing their freedom when they get, you know, as they live through this life.
You're absolutely right.
Is worth more than a Tonka toy. And, you know, just like Dave said, you know, 1,000 people at $50. Think about that. It's $5 million.
That's right.
So, you know, you know, I hate asking for money. I always do. You know, why is it that we always have to pay for what we got to pay for our own freedom? You know, it didn't used to be that way. It didn't seem like it was. In fact, the campaign finance rules never even came into play until I believe it's 1969 or 1970. And all they're rigged so the incumbents can stay in.
That's right.
You know, you can a rich person out there can give Mitch McConnell $324,000 by giving it to the Republican Senatorial Reelection Committee. They can't give me $324,000. It's just not right. But that's what it's rigged for them, and that's the reason why they're so rich. And what they do in order to stay in power is they take care of the rich. And you know, you have to be a rich person to give $324,000 to a campaign. It's something I could never do. You know, the max for a person is $5,600 for a man and his wife.
Bill Nichols asked a question here, and it says, "What's your stance on legal immigration? Any conservative can tell you we must have a zero tolerance policy towards illegal immigration, but many forget how harmful legal immigration is. Would you support legislation to restrict legal immigration, such as the RAISE Act?" I'm not familiar what the RAISE Act is.
Let me tell you this.
Uh-huh.
I believe there should be a 10-year moratorium on immigration, period, as starting immediately. And I believe that this 800,000 additional people from India that's coming into this country to take away these good, high-paying IT jobs and stuff, that, and I hate to say this, but Mitch is for it, and so is Rand. And I hate to say Rand is, but he is. And we don't need those 800,000 people from India coming in here. You know, if you get 800,000 here and 1 million there, and then 10 million illegals, they're taking the country over, and we can't stop it. And you know what? All these kids that's borrowing this money to go to school, and they come out and they're looking for a job, and somebody from India's got the job.
When and the banking system has set up so our children are $70,000, $80,000 in debt and can't even go out and start their own lives and get married and have a home, Wesley, because they're so far in debt, and then they can't get a job paying enough money to pay it back.
7.5% interest on the money, Dave.
Yeah.
7.5%. Can you imagine that?
No.
Oh, well, the Fed loans money to the bank for 1%.
And then we turn around charging it to our students at 7%.
7.5%.
Children. Yeah.
What's that all about?
We're putting them in debt before they ever get out of college, Wesley.
My Lord, if I had my way, I'd do away with the whole debt, the student debt thing tomorrow. I wouldn't let them borrow any more. But that's it, because it's all going to a bunch of liberal, left-wing institutions that's really not providing an education.
No. It's great, Johnny. Glad to hear that. He says, really been an informative broadcast tonight. You guys have done a great job. Thanks, Johnny.
And until we wake up and understand that these people are stealing our lives from us, are stealing the future from our children.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You don't have a chance.
No.
I'm going to tell you, and I will promise you this. When I get to the United States Senate, I will object. Any one United States senator can stand up and object to something and make them go through every procedure of vote in the world. It could take forever. And I'm going to tell you, if it's not constitutional, I will object to it every single time. They can't buy me. They ain't got enough to buy me. I'll be 70 years old when I go up there. I don't have enough years left to be bought. I couldn't have been bought anyway when I was a federal agent. There's no way in the world anybody could ever buy me. My integrity. Let me tell you something. The reason why I can't be bought. I have a short time left in this life, and I have to stand in front of my Maker, and I got to explain to him what I have done in this life. And a lot of stuff, to be honest with you, I don't know how I'm going to explain it, but I'm going to tell you right now that that's not going to be one of them. It's not going to be one of them where I cannot explain to him why that I did not help save the greatest country on the face of this nation in this world, and that's the United States of America. That I would help save it, and I will do that, and I will never betray the public trust. Never. I don't care what kind of newspaper articles these people write. The assault and the smears and all that stuff they do to me. And they've done it, Dave, and they have.
Absolutely.
They have tried to make me look like I have just done everything, not paying my taxes on a houseboat or filing, self-serving liquor bills. But they never told you what the liquor bills were, did they?
Are smuggling alcohol from one store to the other.
Yeah. I mean, my God, the things that they come up with is beyond anything I ever saw in my life. Did they win any of them? No.
Bill Nichols, real quick, Wesley, I wanted to get this in. Bill Nichols says, I was very skeptical of your candidacy until I heard your answer to my question on immigration. I think you might have just won my support. I'm tired of Republicans bowing to the left's dogma on immigration. It is one of the most important issues to my generation. And Bill, you're absolutely 100% right, sir.
You sure are, Bill, and I appreciate what you just said. And Bill, just go to my webpage, morganpercent2020.com. We are making tremendous headway and strides across this state. We're going to win this primary, and we're going to win this election. And it's going to take a constitutional conservative who will stand and help President Donald Trump, fix this country. It's going to take someone like him to be able to win this Senate race next time. Mitch McConnell's approval rating, it's so low, it's ridiculous. If you want a Democrat in the seat of the United States Senator in Washington, all you got to do is nominate Mitch again. I'm telling you, he can't win because this is what I'm hearing around the state. I am tired of holding my nose and voting for Mitch McConnell. I am not doing it again. That's what I'm hearing all over the state from people.
So, Bill, Bill, we your generation, man, we need your help, Bill, to get your generation involved in this and to realize you're absolutely right. Immigration and education are two of the most dangerous things to your generation.
Bill, you look like a young man. Let me suggest something to you. You look like a young man. Go and look up Young Americans for Liberty. Those guys are working their tails off across this country. Young conservatives that are in the universities all across this country that are diligently working to save this nation. I hope that you go check that out.
Steve Smallwood says the liberal goal, along with the rhinos for legal immigrants, is to support a low-wage labor force and dilute the current voter bloc. And you couldn't have said anything more true, Steve.
Absolutely, Steve. Yes. And if you notice where they're going, Steve, they're going to Heartland America, and they're going to Heartland America so they can dilute the conservative, the patriotic people that that's the backbone of this country. They need it. I just can't encourage everybody out there enough. Save your country. Listen, not everybody's a crook. There are people that look at the president. He loves this nation. He does not have to put up with what he's put up. I said the other day, and I'll say it again. Based on what I know and what I suspect is going to happen, President Donald Trump, is probably going to go down as the greatest president ever in the history of this country. Now that says a lot, because that's going over George Washington, who was offered to be king and he turned it down. But this president, if he saves this country, and to put up with sedition and the abuse that this man has put up with, and him a billionaire with a beautiful family, private jet, immaculate places to live, he doesn't have to put up. He could have been selfish, but not everybody is selfish. Some people truly do love this nation, loves this country.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that the president's one of them, and I am one of them. I will give my life for this country. I don't have anything to lose. Like I said, I'll be 70 in July. I have nothing to lose. I'm not going up there to try to fill my pockets. I don't need it. Need it for what? What would I need it for? I've made a pretty good living in my lifetime. My net worth's not bad. So, if you want someone who's worth $60 million and has made it since he's been a United States Senator, or you want someone who's already made what he needs, doesn't need any more, and wants to be your United States Senator to stand for you, to stand up to those bunch of outlaws, you're looking at him.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is Operation Liberty for Kentucky and America with C. Wesley Morgan for the U.S. Senate seat in 2020. Wesley, any final thoughts this evening?
No, just to reiterate what I said. Open up, go on YouTube or whatever, go on the internet, research what we say. I don't expect you just to believe anything I say, but be patriotic, believe in the United States. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Wesley. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back on next Sunday night at 9 o'clock with Operation Liberty for Kentucky and America with C. Wesley Morgan. Guys, please like, share us on Facebook. Please go to the website, Morgan for Senate 2020. I'm Dave Clark. Have a good evening. Wesley, have a good evening, and I will see you.
Thank you very much.
Next week. Thank you.
All right. Well, I tell you what, it turned out to be a pretty good show.